Hello, leather crafters. This is Bruce Cheney here. This is a shot of my CB4500 Cowboy harness stitcher. I've had this machine about, well, over 2 years now, and I'd like to give you an update on it. It's very dependable, and it sews what I need to sew, both thick and thin. I'll show you some examples of some items I've sewn with this Cowboy sewing machine. Well, here's a shot of a stamped belt that I made. It's single ply leather. It's about at least 10 ounce in thickness. And there's the stitch that the Cowboy sewing machine made. It sews real good, pulls a tight stitch right in the middle where it needs to be. Here's a piece of shap leather in kind of a mock-up practice piece I did. This has actually got a closed cell foam rubber on the back that I glued to the shap leather, and that was a practice piece for a saddle seat that I was going to sew a stitch pattern into. And that will give you an idea of how versatile this machine is. Here's some saddle parts I have that are ready to be sewn. They're doubled. They have heavy latigo lining, and that's saddle leather, 13 to 15 ounce. So there's 2 layers. And then when I sew my saddle skirts, I've got a saddle over here that will have liners and a sheepskin in it, and it will sew those with ease. Here's some attachments for the Cowboy harness stitcher or sewing machine. This is a drop-down guide that bolts to the back of the machine itself and then drops down, and you can use that roller guide there to sew your items. So you'll sew really straight. For example, on belts and long pieces of leather, rather than just doing it the freestyle like I do. You can use this guide to make sure you sew straight. Here are some pressure feet, and then there's a stirrup plate there. You can use that stirrup plate for making holsters or sewn stirrups for Western saddles. And then you can get all kinds of attachments, different pressure feet. I've got a closed toe pressure foot right there that I've used quite a bit, and then a right and a left pressure foot, so you can get in real close to certain items. There's the needles. I used size 200 and 230. 230 for the thicker materials, and 200 for just a single ply leather. I like using the white 346 polyester thread on this machine. Here's a shot of the white polyester thread I use on the Cowboy CB4500. It's a 346 white polyester. As you're sewing your parts, your bobbin is being wound, and when it's full, this snaps up like that. There's a view of the bobbin in the machine, and I'll show you the pressure foot I'm using on this machine at this time. It's an open toe foot, so I can see the groove that I'm sewing. I've used a closed toe with success also. Here's kind of a back view of the machine, how clean all of this is. And then the red circles there, that's where you oil the machine. There's the lamp for light. It's got a toggle switch on the back of it. There's the off-on switch for the machine. And back there is the servo motor. This is where you set the speed up and down, and the instructions come with it that tell you how to do that. This is a 2-ply flank strap for a Western saddle that I'm making. And I'll start here at the top. And I'm going to back up 1 stitch. The thing I like about that servo motor is it just really slows down to an infinite speed. Really, you can go at whatever speed you want to. I'm sewing without a guide. I've got the open toe pressure foot on. As you can see, the machine really takes off. And if I want to slow down just a little bit, I can just slow down. This is a trouble-free machine. Very seldom ever have to adjust the tension on it. Is a thing I like about it. See, my bobbin winder over here is winding the bobbin as I sew this flank strap right here. Getting close to the end where I need to turn around so I can really slow down and make sure my needle ends up right in the tip, just like that. My bobbin is now full. Like I said, this machine is very versatile. You can sew thin, single ply, leather crepe items, thick parts for Western saddles. 2 and 3 layers up to 3/4 of an inch probably. A little more effort on the thicker stuff, but the machine does do the job.